and this is how we get down. What's good, everybody? Welcome into a Tuesday episode. We are live, Coach and company on the Stadium Network and everywhere that Stadium lives. Prime Video, Direct TV, YouTube TV, in addition to Roku and Vizio, all of them. We are there every single day, and we are so glad that you have decided to start your day with us. We laugh, we learn, we educate, and we entertain. And on Monday, we also cashed tickets and to the tune of 7-3 and led by your boy. That's right. And that Suns Rockets, by the way, that I told you about, we cashed that by 25 points. The Hornets were up by double digits in the first quarter. So a great day to start our week. But you know what we say here at the brand. It's not what you did yesterday. It's what you do in the future. Now, we are always cranking out content here at BTT Studios. Our schedule today, we've got the podcast, 11:15 a.m. Eastern Time. And then at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, it's Off the Ropes, Channel 156. A whole lot of topics going on in the world of pro wrestling. And if you missed, speaking of pro wrestling, the Coach and Bro Show yesterday, you can catch us on demand at our BTT YouTube page. By the way, if you're watching this show on YouTube, hit that subscribe button right now while you're there. All the way, we want you to be a premium member as well. You can scan that QR code. We do premium pop-ups all the time, a ton of live betting. We're just kind of getting back into the new year. So we'll be back in the next week or so. And you know, if we're free, we are on, we are streaming. We absolutely love it, and we want you to be a part of what we are doing. Now, we're also starting something new called the News of the Day. We'll all do 2 or 3 topics right at the top, like right now. And today, the Dallas Cowboys, they have gotten rid of defense coordinator, Mr. Eberflus. So he goes from Chicago to Dallas, and now he's out of the league, at least temporarily. We'll ask Mikey P about that here shortly. Also, 2 big nuggets coming out of Ole Miss as they prepare for Miami this week in the college football playoff semifinals. Kewan Lacey, the outstanding running back, he has joined his quarterback, Chambliss, and they will stay at Ole Miss. Kind of an upset not going to LSU following their old head coach, Lane Kiffin. And Charlie Weiss Jr. Will call the plays for Ole Miss this week against Miami. That's a big, big deal. You've seen how good that offense have been through their first 2 games in the playoffs. All right, those are the news of the day nuggets. Oh, but I can't do this by myself over the course of the next 60. See how they like to interrupt me and interrupt my flow? It's okay. I love them. It's time. Let's beat the books. Today we're running the 3-man weave. Raphael, a little bit under the weather. He is in the chat. Any questions for him, you can answer them for them in real time. But gentlemen, good morning. Mikey, how are you today? Big week for you.
Good morning, Coach. Yeah, I'm going to honor this big week by wearing a new piece of Bears merch every single day. And you know what? Today it might be 50 in Southwest Missouri, but the Iceman cometh, number 18. We're starting the week off a little chilly, Coach.
Oh, no. Now, this man, he's still in the friendly confines out here on the West Coast. He's the youngest member of our team, but very, very important. Young Peyton, good morning.
Morning, guys. $550 you would have won last night off of $10 if you just simply took the Hornets to win in OKC and Denver in Philly without Jokic, Murray, and Aaron Gordon. 2 money line plays. It was just so simple, right? I don't know why didn't we do it?
Well, it's funny because we may have a couple of spots open here on the show. Yesterday, you know, Brandon, we love Brandon, right? And he said yesterday on the show that the Pistons would win by 20. And I questioned him, as any host would do when you claim that the number 1 seed would beat the number 2 seed by 20. So how many texts do you think I got or posts from Brandon directed at me last night? Mikey,
20?
did you see that?
Oh, I saw it, and I wanted to tell him to take it down, but, you know,
Well, he didn't take it down, and I did not respond. I'm responding now. What days is he on, by the way? Mondays, Thursdays?
And TBD.
TBD. Very true. Real quick, Mikey, that Cowboys news, not really shocking because their defense was not good this year, but that guy used to coach for you as a head coach, yes?
Yeah, not shocking at all. I think it's a very funny and ironic that everywhere Matt Eberflus has gone, they've traded the superstar pass rusher. When he came to Chicago, Khalil Mack got sent out. When he goes to Dallas, Micah Parsons gets sent out. And Micah Parsons had a field day with Matt Eberflus throughout the regular season on Twitter. So not surprising in the least. I would like to believe that Matt Eberflus is not a DC for at least the next 2 to 3 years.
Well, he's still going to get paid, so we can't feel sorry for him. And I know, Peyton, you're my young cat, so I always like to put you on the stories where it's kind of new. Everything is new. And I don't know if you saw this or not, but LSU and Lane Kiffin, they have signed the first NIL deal of its kind. And so it's kind of surprising that Lacey, Chambliss aren't going there, because now players at LSU, athletes, will have a direct line to Nike. It is revolutionary. They just announced it yesterday. How beneficial do you think that will be for LSU?
I think it's huge for LSU as a program, but if you look at the guys like Lacey and Chambliss, coach, I mean, maybe they like the whole, like, hey, let's get away from Lane Kiffin, let's do our own thing, and that's what they're doing right now, and they're one game away from going to the national championship. So I think the position that they're in right now, I don't think anyone else could be in a better position than those two guys.
Yeah, it was a little weird, though, I'll be honest with you, because I'm kind of an old school guy. Watching Chambliss on Pat McAfee yesterday talk about, well, I talked to my parents and I talked to my agent, and what? You talked to your agent? I mean, it's so weird to hear these cats talk about agents, but we're going to talk about the Cincinnati quarterback a little bit later. If he got $5 million, I wonder how much Chambliss got to stay at Ole Miss. It's got to be at least that much. At least that much. All right, gentlemen, as you saw, me and Big Chuck, we led the way yesterday, a 7-3 day, and I want 5 winning days this week. So today's got to be number 2. So my question is very simple. My guy is ready. Ready. Best bets. Mikey P, lead us off. Go.
Give me the Lakers -5.5 against the New Orleans Pelicans tonight. Coach, this is a play, especially in the morning, that I love grabbing. I know you want to wait for NBA injury reports to come out most of the time, but we're talking about the Lakers against the Pelicans, and all they got to do is win by 6. The Pelicans have been surprisingly competitive early in games. I do not believe they will be competitive against Luka Doncic, despite how good Zion has played recently. Give me the Lakers -5.5. And then college hoops. Why? Because I just have a gut feeling about my hometown of Chicago and DePaul taking on Georgetown tonight. DePaul 7-3 at home. Give me DePaul -1.5.
Mikey, what is the name of the home arena for DePaul?
Wintrust Arena?
Do they play downtown now?
I believe
Wintrust?
So.
I thought they played out at Allstate.
It might be both.
It might be, yeah. Allstate Arena was the very first arena I ever performed in the WWE with somebody you guys may have heard of called The Rock, but I don't know. I mean, it's the memory's a little foggy. All right, Mikey, good start. I'm going to go next because lately I have continued to show I am the best NBA capper on planet Earth. 2-0 yesterday, and I see 3 check marks right here. Let's start with the Magic and the Wizards. Let's go over 234. Now, the Magic have turned into an over team. All of a sudden, 262, 235 against Bulls and Pacers, 2 teams that have kind of the same DNA as the Wizards. Now, the Wizards, 256 in their last game. Then tonight, it's really turned into a rivalry. Wemby listed as questionable. He did practice fully. He did travel with the team to Memphis. So Spurs, Grizzlies, I like this over 239. The Grizzlies are also starting to figure it out. Ja Morant staying out of the headlines. That's a very, very good thing. Then speaking of the Pacers, Cavs, Pacers, I love their over tonight as well. The Pacers just play 0 defense. They only have 6 wins on the year, which means they're always playing from behind. That's a recipe for the over. Love these 3 plays. Young Peyton, let's go.
Yeah, anytime I see the Duke Blue Devils as underdogs, I'm taking them. I can't believe they're dogs against a Louisville team that just lost to Stanford. So if they just lost to Stanford, how are they going to beat Duke? I mean, here's the answer. They're not going to. Blue Devils on the money line. And I know the University of Georgia is upset about their football team, but they should be excited about their hoops team this year. They're 13-1. They've won 7 straight. And who knew that the Georgia Bulldogs averaged the most points per game in the country at over 99 a game? Jeremiah Wilkinson, Blue Kane, these guys are really good, and they're 8.5-point dogs tonight, or 9.5 now this morning, in a conference matchup against the Florida Gators. Florida Gators team that I am not sold on this year. They just lost to Missouri, and we saw them lose to my Horned Frogs earlier this year. Give me the 8.5, the 9.5 Georgia Bulldogs to cover tonight in Gainesville, but now they are 9.5 this morning. I had them at 8.5 last night.
It's okay. That's why we do it, because if we waited till always up to the start of the show, we would never have graphics. So the lines move throughout the day. I encourage you guys to follow us on social media as well. Now, Raphael, even though he's under the weather, he's a team guy, isn't he, boys? He is a team guy. He said in 2 plays, I'm going to read his analysis word for word. So NBA Kings team total under 114.5. Kings last 6 games all have gone under this number. So let's make that 7. And then in the NHL, Buffalo on the 3-way line, they have won 9 of their last 10. So absolutely love the Sabres tonight on the ice. How many games are tonight in the NHL? Oh my gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a full slate. A full slate. Now, probably starting next week, Tuesdays is going to be a really good premium pop-up night for us. But as you guys know, we're working on some stuff behind the scenes, so I don't want to stress everybody out. But I'm telling you right now, in the next 5 to 7 days, you're going to see some changes. And I'm excited for those changes. Mikey, you excited for some changes coming to the brand?
Change is great. Change is welcome. Change is exciting.
Young Peyton, are you heading back anytime soon for your next or last semester?
I am. I'm going back on Sunday, back to the apartment that has really bad lighting. We'll see, see how that goes. But no, I'm going to bring a ring light this time with me, I think, when I go back to Texas on Sunday. So.
Well, you won't have your dad's friendly confines sports lodge there down in. That's all right. That's all right. Yeah. You're going to get there. Believe me, I didn't have this gorgeous studio, when I first started out either. By the way, gentlemen, I don't know if you realize this, but you are in the presence of a movie star or a movie actor. Really more like a movie extra, I guess, if we're really being honest about it. But, hey, Mikey, if you want to schedule a MMA interview with the latest underground ring announcer in the world, I think I could probably make time for you.
Thank you. I need
What am I talking? Lately I like to learn all parts of the business, guys. And I've learned that you can shoot a movie in 2024. And sometimes it doesn't come out till 2026, which is the case with the latest. It's going to be a hit. I mean, a gigantic hit. And when they put your boy in the first 4 seconds of the trailer, well, I mean, what else do you absolutely need? Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, it's time to take a look at those hands, Please welcome Carter Williams.
Another bloody nose.
Hey, that's fighter's life.
It's game time.
You know he'd lose his hands if he didn't have me to hold them.
I need Carter to take a fall in the finals.
It's not happening.
You don't think I could take this guy?
He's not human. They're trying to kill you. Carter!
We need help! Come on, somebody!
Somebody call an ambulance!
Hurting her, it's not gonna bring him back.
I fight for myself. See you soon.
I can't wait.
She's got the best hands in the business. That's why she's in there.
Oh, let that just rush over you for a second. Thank you, Peyton. Thank you, Peyton. I appreciate that. You're a little young to remember Revenge of the Nerds, but I marked out big time when I walked in and Ogre was a part of the cast. Go back and watch it. You'll know what I'm talking about. He's one of the legendary characters of all time. All right, gentlemen, we are live right now on our YouTube channel. For those of you watching, hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button on your way in as well. It really helps the show grow. Mikey, let me start with you. Tua, now that the season's over, now that he doesn't have to go back into the facility, he says, quote, "It would be dope to have a fresh start next season." If you're the owners, the head coach, anybody in Miami, do you want a quarterback back who says that?
Odd choice of words, Coach. Let's just start there. I think, maybe Miami could have gotten more out of using dope for their quarterback this past year. I don't know what Tua thinks his future is in the NFL. Maybe Arizona. I know. Here's the thing. When you have all these bad teams that need quarterbacks, they're usually drafting quarterbacks, looking at the Raiders as an example. So Tua may have to go to a bench year. And if you think it's going to be dope, well, I think Miami would have thought it was dope that you played better this past year.
You wonder if his ego, Peyton, will allow him. Now, he got his $200 million plus contract, and I think 180 was guaranteed, so he got his cash. Do you think he would be willing to sit for a year to play on a winning team?
He just sounds like a dope. Like, I bet it would be dope to go somewhere else. But you know what else would be dope to playing some good football and not throwing the ball to the other team. I think it would be not just big for him, but for the Dolphins too, if he gets to play somewhere else next season, because I think Miami has had enough of him.
Yeah, no doubt. By the way, Peyton, what would you like people in the chat to type? Because you owe 2 pieces of merch that we're going to give away on the Wheel of Doom today. So what would you like people to write to participate?
Dope.
I like it. All right. Write dope. And if you write dope, you will get on the Wheel of Doom, which is now the Coach and Brolette wheel. And you can win a free piece of merch courtesy of Young Peyton. We're back live in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. It is Tuesday. It is Coach and Company. We have a great vibe today. We are live on the Stadium Network, Prime Video, YouTube TV, Roku, Direct TV. We are everywhere. Now, on Tuesdays during the regular season, we look forward to 3 or 4 of the biggest games because half a points, full points in the NFL, they absolutely matter. Well, we've got 6 games this week, and they all matter. So we're going to look at all 6 of them right here, right now. It's time to look at the AFC. Maybe we can, I don't know, kick it off? I want to do NFC because guess what, Mikey? On Saturday, the 2 games are the NFC games. We're going to start with game number 1. It's a rematch from the regular season. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know the last time that a team, it may have never happened, gets into the playoffs on a 2-game losing streak, under 500 at 8-9, and also get a home playoff game. It almost doesn't seem possible. But the last time the Rams went to Carolina a couple of months ago, they lost. What do you make of this game Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time?
Yeah, this needs to be a game where all the Panthers are just scratching their heads going, did we have to play in this game? Because this is a revenge spot for the Los Angeles Rams. I'm not even going to say for Matthew Stafford or Puka or anybody. This is Sean McVay. We're at the point now where coaching matters more than anything, far superior than talent on the field, in my opinion. Sean McVay knows he has to answer the bell against this Panthers team that embarrassed his Rams team at home. At 10, I'm taking the Rams right now today because I don't know which way this line moves, but I feel very confident the Rams can cover 10 today.
Wow, 10 points in the playoffs, Mikey. Let me come over to you, Peyton, because in the playoffs, we know the NFL, it's not about spreads. It's not about how good you look. It's about winning and advancing. A double-digit spread, I don't disagree with what Mikey said. I just think it's a really, really big number on the road.
Yeah, it's too many points for me. And the only thing I have a problem with in this one is the fact that a 12-win team has to travel somewhere to where the Panthers won 8 games this year. That needs to be fixed because no one wanted to win the NFC South this year at all. The Panthers just got lucky because the Saints are terrible. 10 points also just seems a little crazy. in a playoff game, though, right? Especially, you mentioned it. If they're up 7 or something on the final drive, they're not trying to score. Let that clock run out and just advance to the next round. But especially after the Panthers have already beaten the Rams 31-28, I think the Rams win this game, but 10 points is too much for me to take. I actually like the Panthers to cover.
They are such a Jekyll and Hyde team, hence the 8-9 record. They have had times this year. Clearly, they're in the playoffs. They're one of 7 teams in the NFC to make the playoffs. But Mikey, if you picked out certain games and watched them this year, they look pathetic. And I mean pathetic. And this is maybe one of the most fascinating stories, maybe in the history of the NFL playoffs. But give me a scenario or give me a performance that the Panthers would need to have, not to cover, but just to simply win the game.
Their defense, which is a very underrated defense, and I think that signals that the offense needs to grow this offseason, but their defense would have to get after Matthew Stafford, make life uncomfortable. A cornerback no one's ever talked about this season, Coach J.C. Horn, should be an all-pro, one of the only cornerbacks in the league to have multiple games with at least 2 interceptions. If he gets involved, I think that makes life hard on Matthew Stafford. And if you're Carolina, run the football, take away the time of possession. So it's going to have to be a gritty fight.
Yeah, shorten that game, which leads me to my next question, Peyton, because Puka Nacua, in big games, he's north of 9, 10, 11 catches. And so I don't know what the number is going to end up falling on Saturday, but I think people need to be very, very careful because I think that will be Carolina's game plan.
Yeah, for sure. But you look at how long the Rams need in their possessions. We say time of possession and shorten it, but sometimes in 3 plays, they're already down the field in 90 yards from a deep ball from Puka. And then that opens up the run game, and Blake Corum has a 30-yard run. These guys are prolific on offense. It's really impressive to see from the Rams. But if Panthers had any way of winning this game, it would be picking off Matthew Stafford and putting some pressure on him.
In the chat, Raphael says there's been no line movement in this game so far, and this is the least bet game so far of the Wildcard weekend. Probably not a surprise. All right, now, Saturday, my guess is in the evening, once the sun goes down, that we will not be able to get a hold of young Mikey P, because this is, without question, the biggest game in his fandom's history. It is the third matchup of the season, Packers and the Bears. The health of Jordan Love, the health of the quarterback position, very, very important for Green Bay. But, Mikey, this is about the Bears. It's essentially a pickup. You're laying 1, but the money line is only minus 110 on both sides. So the books believe the Packers are the better team because 3 points is what you get when you have a home game. Sell me on the Bears advancing to the next round.
Well, I wish that they didn't have the last 2 performances coming into this playoffs that we just saw. The only thing I'll sell you on, Coach, is the last Bears went on to lose 2 straight. They went on to win 4 straight afterwards. So, I mean, I would love that. But I will say their defense has been absolutely atrocious, giving up big chunks after big chunks. Kyler Gordon needs to get back. There is a report that he'll return to practice this week. If he is on the field, I really think it helps the defense in limiting those big plays against Green Bay. But the thing I'm most excited for is Ben Johnson was pissed off. Ben Johnson was pissed off that the offense only scored 16 points against Detroit and was not happy with the offense, so much so calling them out. I do obviously like the Bears here. This is intriguing because both matchups came down to the final play of the game in the first 2 meetings. It's going to be exciting.
It's going to be very, very exciting. It's also nighttime. It's always cold in January in Chicago. So it's going to be a classic NFC North matchup. But, Peyton, if I am the Packers and the Packers fan base, there were reports yesterday. I saw Adam Schefter on Pat McAfee's show, and he basically talked about if Matty LaFleur is going to come back, they're going to have to redo a deal. They're going to have to figure out exactly how much they're going to pay him, because if they let him go, there's a very good chance, because he makes it to the playoffs every single year. Now, hasn't had a lot of success after he's gotten there, but he gets there. What do the Packers need to do to have success Saturday night against the Bears?
Well, another game that I'm sure will come down to the last possession between these 2 teams. Mikey said it. The Packers are thrilled to have Jordan Love back and Josh Jacobs healthy, but their defense has been an issue. They let the Ravens go for 41 points a few weeks ago without Lamar. Wouldn't you think they would game plan a little better for Derrick Henry if the Ravens had a backup quarterback playing? Nope, 4 touchdowns and 216 rushing yards for Derrick Henry. I mentioned that because Chicago ran the ball better than anyone this year. 144 rushing yards a game, third in the NFL. How much can the Packers defense stay with the Chicago Bears, especially without Micah Parsons? I got Jordan Love, though, getting the job done on the road in an overgame. I think a lot of points are going to be scored.
Wow. So you have the Packers. Mikey clearly has the Bears. By the way, to your point on the running game, the Bears have 2 running backs that against the Eagles went north of 120 each. So they can run the football. They can run the football. Now, speaking of those Eagles, they are the 3rd game, and they are the game on Sunday in the NFC. Now, I've heard people react different ways to a couple of my tweets because I think that getting the 3rd seed really, really hurts the Eagles because they play the 49ers instead of the Packers. So, Mikey, let me come over to you. The Eagles, even their own fan base is pissed at Nick Sirianni because he set the starters. They lose to the Commanders, and now if they win Sunday, if the Bears win, they have to go on the road instead of they could have had the 2 seed. But focusing on this game right here, the 49ers come in. Yes, they lost to the Seahawks. Yes, their offense looked atrocious. But before that game, they had won 6 in a row, and Brock Purdy had been playing all-pro style football. Your take?
I think Brock Purdy gets back to that old all-pro style of football. The Eagles defense is not the Seahawks defense. Now, the Eagles defense isn't bad. I just like the 49ers to get back on track. It feels weird to say that a wild card game could be looked at for the 49ers offense as a get-right game, but I believe it is exactly that for the offense. I like the over in this game because I do think we're going to see plenty of points. San Francisco is capable of it. And on the other side, the 49ers defense is pretty weak without Fred Warner, without Nick Bosa. They were last in the league in sacks. So Jalen Hurts should have plenty of time. I think we see a shootout in this one, and I like the Niners.
By the way, whether you're watching on Stadium right now or watching on YouTube, get into our chat because right now, JC1 is going to win 2 pieces of merch unless somebody else puts #dope. #dope into our chat. You'll go right into the Wheel of Doom. We'll do that at the end of the show. Peyton, let me come over to you because a season in the NFL feels like 5 years. We forget the Eagles are the defending champions. They figured out a way with Jalen Hurts last year to get the job done. They've had an up and down, rocky road. But what have you seen that tells you the Eagles at home can get the job done on Sunday?
I'm just glad we finally get to see an Eagles team want to compete in a game this year. It seemed like they were bored all year. Then all of a sudden they lost a few games and they got complacent and said, oh, shoot, we got to win some games to get to the playoffs. And throw all those narratives away of Saquon not getting the ball enough, A.J. Brown not getting any targets. All that goes away, and those guys will get plenty of catches and touches in the playoffs. I think the 49ers defense has trouble stopping Philly. And then you look at the Niners offensively, well, they put up 3 points last week against Seattle. Seattle's a playoff-type defense. Philadelphia, a playoff-type defense that allows just 19 points a game, 5th best in the league. The Eagles win this game, I think they cover.
Wow, they're going to cover that yuck 4.5. I hate 4.5. Don't you guys? Four looks so different than 4.5 or 5. I just absolutely despise it. All right, 20 seconds for each of you. Give me your 3 winners and a quick score for the NFC games. Mikey, let's start with you.
Give me the Rams 34-10 over the Panthers. Bears, Packers 31-28 Chicago. And then 49ers, I'm going to go 41-30 against the Eagles.
And who wins that?
The 49ers.
Okay. Peyton?
I'm going to go Rams 27-21. I'm going to go Packers win 34-30. And then I'm going to take the Eagles at 24-17.
It's going to be a good one late afternoon in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. All right, gentlemen, well done on the NFC side. Coming up on the other side of the break, we're only halfway home. We've got to tackle the AFC games, and we have one team that comes in on a 9-game winning streak. Yes, they don't even play on the weekend. It's Coachman Company live right here on Stadium. All right, boys, this one is fascinating. Texas Tech looked absolutely atrocious in their playoff game, could do nothing, literally 0 points against Oregon. So what did they do, Mikey? They had to go out and get themselves a quarterback. And because they have a billionaire that is funding their NIL, money, kind of like the Saudis, is not an issue whatsoever. So they go out and get that marquee quarterback from that marquee program. 1 second. Brendan Sorsby, Cincinnati, $5 million in NIL money next year to start at Texas Tech. Crazy.
Cha-ching, coach. I mean, Brendan Sorsby was not going to be a guy, at least right now, who would light it up in the NFL. And he's going to be making more money than most, rookie quarterbacks in the NFL on their first year in the league. So hats off to him. The kid got paid, but now he has to deliver because Texas Tech will not let him live it down, even if he has one bad game in the Big 12.
Well, and I think that playoff game really hurts the narrative here, too. He can have a great regular season, but they got to get back to the playoffs and then show out. That's what this money says, Peyton. And we're talking more than 12 of the starters in the NFL that started in Week 18 he will make next year.
Now, yeah, Coach, I wasn't born yet, but SMU had their whole program shut down in 1987 for getting caught paying their players. Now we got Brendan Sorsby making $5 million. It's ridiculous. I mean, when's this going to stop? It's crazy what college football is now. And let's stop calling it college football, right? Call it what it is, because they're professionals looking to get paid. 4,500 players entered the portal looking for their payday. It's insane what's going on right now. And TCU just lost Josh Hoover to Indiana.
Wow. He's a good quarterback too. You got to have a quarterback these days, and now the college programs, they're realizing it, and that's why they're paying these exorbitant amounts of money. But I think deals like this will cause them to get some parameters heading into the future. All right, we're talking AFC. We're back live in 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. I am the coach. This is Coach and Company, live on the Stadium Network. Also, YouTube and social media. You can find us anywhere. Do not forget, coming up at about 11:15 a.m. Eastern Time, approximately, we have a 20 to 30-minute podcast that we support this morning show. And then, of course, I have my Sirius XM Channel 156 Off the Ropes Wrestling Show every single weekday, 2 to 4 Eastern Time. And you can catch the Coach and Bro Show on demand. I just looked at the numbers. You guys are finding us, and it means the world as we continue to grow one step at a time. All right, we just went over all of the NFC games this weekend to try to get ahead of the numbers. Now, guys, let's morph it over to the AFC. And this first one, 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, I think could be the game of the day. The Jags come in absolutely on fire. They've already beaten in the last 3 weeks the number 1 seed Broncos in Denver by double digits. So now they get a team, Mikey, that many people felt like would be the number 1 seed, and that's the Buffalo Bills. The Bills did not have a great season for them, but now with Lamar Jackson out, Patrick Mahomes out, Joe Burrow out, the narrative's going to be there is no more excuses for Josh Allen, except against the quarterback that he plays this week, Trevor Lawrence. He's got some new ice. He's got some new teeth. He's feeling good. He's feeling like a part of the team, but yet they're still underdogs at home. Your take?
Coach, I'm ready for a challenge here. I'm ready for hot take alert. The Bills roll in this game. It was nice knowing you, Jacksonville. Josh Allen is going to show up and show out. Also, James Cook in the backfield. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him. Led the league in rushing this year. I know the Jaguars have a good defense, but you're absolutely right. No Mahomes, no Lamar, no Joe Burrow. Josh Allen has been in these positions before. Jacksonville has not. I like Buffalo easily in this one.
I got to be very, very careful, because I already stepped in with Brandon last night when it comes to the Detroit Pistons. But this is not that. To roll over Jacksonville in Jacksonville. Peyton, the floor is yours.
Yeah, he said no Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar like they play linebacker for the Jaguars. I mean, think we would have thought the Jaguars would be hosting the Bills in the first round this year, right? I mean, Josh Allen's going to make Josh Allen plays. We know that this is going to be a tough pick as far as what side to take, but because of how great Trevor Lawrence has been, two great quarterbacks, I'd rather just rely on both offenses and take the over in this game, but I'll also go with the hotter quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, and the better defense at home as well. Give me the Jags. Let's go.
I'm going to break this tie, and I'm going to go with the Jags too. I just feel like, Mikey, that in Buffalo they have this curse that's been going on all the way back to, is it 1990? They had 4 straight years. They went to the Super Bowl. They've never had one win, not one dub. And for some reason, the football gods have this weird sense of humor. And now Josh Allen is the new Jim Kelly. And he's had some great teams the last few years. He's had some great offenses and somehow has figured out a way to lose in the playoffs. So now they're a wild card team. Now they have to go on to the road. So tell me, what does Josh Allen have to do? Whether it's a big passing game, or does he have to go back to using his legs just to win the game? Not the blowout that you're talking about, but the performance that Josh Allen needs to lead his team out of Jacksonville with the dub.
He needs to be what I believe he is, and that's the best talent on either team on the field come Sunday. For me, Josh Allen needs to not have 6 touchdowns or 300 passing yards. He needs to be able to use his legs and deliver big-time throws. The number one thing we don't say about Buffalo is the lack of playmakers he has. Why? Because Josh Allen covers up for the weaknesses he has on the outside of him. If it's Josh Allen's in his hands, I believe they will win this game.
Peyton, on the Jacksonville side of things, 9 different receivers caught passes on Sunday. None of them were named Travis Hunter, the Heisman Trophy winner who claimed that he was going to play every single down, offensively and defensively, in the regular season. That didn't even happen through 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So they have found other names, other players that have really started to step up. This might be their window. They've got great leadership with Liam Cohen, who a lot of people thought should have stayed, or the Saints should have kept him when they let him walk out the door. How much do you think his leadership has helped the team get to 13-4?
It's incredible. 13-4 for Jacksonville. I think Liam Cohen's the coach of the year. He's my coach of the year candidate without question, but this defense is what's going to win them this game. Trevor Lawrence has just said, we've said all year that he's simply done enough to get the Jags the W's, but the truth is the defense has won them their games, and Trevor Lawrence has done enough, yes, but he's been looked really, really good as of late. So I'm really comfortable taking not only the quarterback who, okay, Josh Allen's better than Trevor Lawrence, whatever, but Trevor Lawrence, the hottest quarterback right now in the league, one of them, him and Drake May probably up there for the top 2. I'd take him right now as he's the hottest guy in the league.
7, 17, 20, 20, 19, 3. That's the last 6 games that defense has held. And in the NFL, the whole defense is to under 20 points consistently. That's really, really, really good. All right, that's game number 1. Let's go over to the second game. And this is where we probably have the NFL MVP. And who would have ever thought that a second-year quarterback named Drake May would be that guy, that he would win the AFC East and beat Buffalo handily in Buffalo, then have a 21-point lead and lose, but that didn't deter them. But it may, Mikey, have cost them the number 1 seed, to be honest. But now they still have a home game. They're still favored by 3.5, and the Chargers come in, a warm weather team, a banged-up quarterback, and it feels like a spot where the Chargers get in and get out very, very quickly.
And that's what I believe will happen, Coach. I love points being scored in this game, mainly on the New England side. If you're looking for a little stay on your toes play, I would look at the New England Patriots team total in this one. The Chargers are absolutely banged up. Coach for coach right now, I like Mike Vrabel almost more than anyone in the National Football League. Drake May, as you said, likely the MVP winner this year. I think the Patriots have no problem doing whatever they want against the Chargers. I like them to cover and the over in this one.
38, 42, 28, the last 3 games. 31, the 4th game that they lost to Buffalo. The game before that, 33, 26, 20. You get my point. They can score a lot of points, Peyton. This team all of a sudden has vaulted into a top 3 or 4 team in the entire NFL.
Was that points that you went off of, or is that how cold it's going to be? 'Cause it's going to be warmer in your fridge than it's going to be at Gillette Stadium for this playoff game. And the Chargers just don't seem like they always come up with. They always seem like they come up with a way to lose these early playoff games. I love Justin Herbert, but I don't love that Chargers offensive line, which Herbert should actually sue for non-support. Only Geno Smith and Cam Ward were sacked more than Justin Herbert this year. Then you look at Drake May, who's playing more like an MVP than anyone in the NFL right now. Patriots won 13 of their last 14 games. I love them at home. Give me the Pats and the points.
All right. Very, very good. Now let's flip it over to Monday Night Football. We will have a Monday Night Grind show, 7 o'clock Eastern time on Monday. And I saw a bunch of videos Sunday night. I believe, Peyton, you may have been in one of them. It was a bunch of Ravens fans that had their heads in their hands, and then a bunch of Steelers fans that couldn't believe that the kick went off to the right. And what it did, it allowed Aaron Rodgers with that stupid little smirk to get into the playoffs. But they host a Texans team with a dominant defense, Mikey. They host a Texans team on a 9-game winning streak, and they were voted yesterday the team that nobody wants to play in the playoffs, and they have to travel to a very chilly Pittsburgh. Tell me how Aaron Rodgers can be playing in week number 2.
The good thing for Aaron is that DK Metcalf is back. But I don't think he's going to be the most important factor. If you look at how the Steelers stayed alive against the Ravens, it was with a heavy dose of Jaylen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell, who plays running back but may be Pittsburgh's best wide receiver, whether it be out of the backfield or lined up outside. So I think he's going to have to throw the ball a lot to Kenneth Gainwell. I think you're going to have to rely on Jaylen Warren. And, Coach, I have to say it. Maybe some more holy water in the end zone to avoid the Texans from making a game-winning kick. I'm not sure.
It really is remarkable, and I do feel bad for you, young Peyton, because it sucks when you lose a game that way, no doubt about it. But now the Steelers move on. Aaron Rodgers, who I'm sure behind closed doors was talking a little bit of trash, but that could all end on Monday night. And the fact that they're the last game of the weekend, they're going to have so many eyeballs, prime time. This may be a spot that Aaron Rodgers absolutely relishes.
Yeah, and the Steelers are playing with house money right now. They shouldn't even be in the playoffs. I hope they sent Tyler Loop a fruit basket because his missed 44-yarder is the only reason Aaron Rodgers is still active. And the good news for the Steelers is that TJ Watt is back, and he had that big pick in his first game back against Baltimore. That's big, but because when CJ Stroud is pressured, his passer rating drops from 105.7 in a clean pocket all the way down to 65.5 when pressured. And DK Metcalf is back from delivering punches to hopefully delivering some big catches in this game. So I hate the Steelers, but 3.5, I think I'd take them on that side.
And think about this, guys. If the seeding holds up, Pittsburgh, you talk about holy water. Denver's probably the most fraud number 1 seed that we've seen in many, many years. The Steelers would play the Broncos in week number 2 because they're the 4 seed with the worst division record. Mikey, that could be such an advantage for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And Aaron Rodgers, I'm taking his experience over CJ Stroud and definitely over Bo Nix. If we see that in round number 2, I don't want to give the Steelers too much credit and praise here, but I think they could surprise some people in the early stages of the postseason.
How about the Big Tommy C fun fact of the day from our chat queen, Kimberly? She says the Steelers have not lost a home game on Monday night since Aaron Rodgers was 7. And he is now 41, I believe. 34 years since they lost a home game on a Monday night. Very interesting. Peyton, you were 7 like 5 years ago.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly how long ago it was.
That's why I hate you so very, very much. All right. Coming up on the other side, it's time to get into our NBA showcase. Tonight, we've got the Heat and the Timberwolves, a rematch from last Saturday, and also a budding rivalry in the NBA. The Spurs, will Wemby be back and playing? Well, he's on the road. He's traveling. He's a full participant in practice. But will he be on the court tonight with the Grizzlies? We break down both games. Also, we lock it in and recap our best bets for the day. This is Coaching Company, and we are live on the Stadium Network. All right, gentlemen, speaking of the NBA, there are certain players that are kind of the way they play all about themselves. And young Peyton, let me come over to you to start. Trae Young, who has missed some time with injury this year in Atlanta, and the Hawks actually played better offense and just played better. So it should not surprise any of us that word is coming out of Atlanta that Trae, his agents, and the team are trying to work together to find a trade to get him out of Hotlanta.
All everyone's talking about is the Wizards. That's all I hear. And this is just like what we saw with Jordan Poole. Would Trae Young not be the best Washington Wizard ever? By the way, he can take as many shots as he wants, whenever he wants, and he plays no defense at all. It couldn't be more perfect for him. I could totally see him in a Wizards jersey.
When he was taken in Atlanta, you knew if you watched any of Oklahoma's games that that's exactly who you were going to get. A street ball and one player that could score 35 on any given night, but not a championship player. Mikey, Peyton's absolutely right. What team, winning team, I guess, because I would assume Trae wants to win, doesn't he?
He does, but Peyton's absolutely right, Coach. The first rumor out is that Trae Young could be swapped for CJ McCollum of the Washington Wizards. Could you imagine being part of a draft day trade for Luka Doncic, and then 6 years later you're traded for CJ McCollum? I mean, Trae Young has done this to himself, and I would absolutely love to see him in Washington. How the mighty have fallen.
What's crazy, Peyton, is that a guy like him gets the huge bag because of the points. But I think teams need to start looking at winning players instead of, because I don't even think Trae Young sells tickets. I'll be honest. I don't. Do you?
No, probably not. But you could say the same thing probably with LaMelo Ball in Charlotte. I actually went to a Wizards and Hornets game a couple years ago, and it was just kind of like that weird feeling of like, why am I here type of thing. I think I'd get the same feeling if Trae Young was over there.
Yeah, I think you're right. And maybe it's just jealousy of him and his new grill every 2 weeks, making $40 million. All right, we're back live. NBA Showcase time, 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. I'm the coach. This is Coach and Company. Time to focus on our 2 games from the NBA tonight. We're going to start in Minnesota, the Heat and the Timberwolves. Mikey, I'm going to start with you. This is a rematch from last Saturday when the Timberwolves won in Miami by 10, scoring 125 in the process. When you play a team, and this happens a lot with the schedule makers, but normally it's 2 games in a row. They've had a game in between. But when you play a team so close together, like 5 days or 4 days or 3 days, who does that give the advantage to?
I do think it gives the advantage to the team that won the first matchup, and it's the way the Timberwolves won that first matchup. Coach, I had a play on Anthony Edwards in this game. Didn't even come close because Minnesota didn't need him. And, of course, I had to play on Anthony Edwards. I love Julius Randle in this game. If he's going to be matched up against Bam Adebayo, I like Julius Randle to stretch the floor. Adebayo can do it more, but Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, and Julius Randle, I'm taking that big 3 over Miami.
We forget sometimes that Minnesota made a deep run last year in the playoffs, and a lot of people thought if Anthony Edwards could step up, Peyton, to that next level and really be the super-duper superstar, that Minnesota could be a team to challenge out of the West this year. They got off to a really, really slow start. Are you starting to see signs of improvement?
Yeah, without question. I mean, I think the question is how deep can they go in the playoffs this year? I don't know, but I'm excited to see Ant-Man in the playoffs again. 23-13, they're 12-6 at home. Anthony Edwards is averaging almost 30 a game. Just a 5.5 point spread tonight. Give me the Wolves to cover, but Tyler Hero might play for the first time since December 9th, so it would be nice to see him come back. It might affect the spread a little bit if he plays.
I think it should affect. What did you say? Could
affect
affect. Yeah, it could affect the total because when Tyler Hero's in the game, they play slower for whatever reason. They don't score as many points. When he came back at the end of November, their point total went down. They were an absolute over machine, but I would still look at the total. They got to, 125, so they got to 240 last Saturday. So that would obviously go over this number. Now let's flip it over to the other featured game tonight out west. And this is kind of, Mikey, turned into a really good rivalry between the Spurs and the Grizzlies. And we know that Wemby was a full participant in practice. He did travel with the team to Memphis, that short flight over from San Antonio. The big question is, will their big guy be back? And they're laying 6.5, which shows the respect that the sports books are now giving to the Spurs night in and night out.
Respect they deserve. They've been on the uphill, swing, while Oklahoma City is on the downfall right now. If you like the Spurs in this one, as I do, take them right now. No matter if Wemby plays or not, that number will get adjusted, as it will if John Morant, who's questionable for this game, that number should change if he comes back. So if you like the Spurs, 6.5, I jump on it this morning. I think the Spurs are too deep. They're far too talented. I think they can cover in this one.
I think this one's also going to go into the 240s. I think pretty easily. Grizzlies have figured out, Peyton, that if they play a sped up kind of game, it's better for them instead of playing that half-court game, and that has turned into a lot of big-time totals. What do you make of that tonight?
Yeah, a lot of big-time totals. They play fast and no defense, but they've been terrible. And John Morant has turned into Joel Embiid as far as health status is concerned. He's not playing. He's really not. And we never know till 5 minutes before the game if he is. Some sort of thing going on with Wemby right now, too. It's kind of similar, but it's too early in his career to ever throw shade on Wemby, so I'm not going to say anything. But give me the Grizzlies tonight at home, getting 6.5. They've lost 4 straight. All that means to me is they got to win at some point. They're not very good, but they're a better team than 15 and 20. I really like Jalen Wells, Cam Spencer. These guys compete really hard. They love to play. Give me the Grizzlies to cover at home.
And this might be a hot take, but maybe Wemby should be a permanent bench player. They play really well when he comes off the bench. Maybe he should be a 25 to 30 minute kind of guy. I know it's crazy because he was the number 1 pick in the draft, but it should be about winning and not just about stats and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see. And also keeping him on the court. Play him a little bit less. Protect him for the playoffs. We'll see what they decide to do. Gentlemen, well done on all of the analysis today in the NFL and also the NBA. All right, I know a lot of you were not here at the top of the hour. You got lives. You're busy. But you weren't entertained because you weren't here. But you're here now. And that's all I care about. It's time. Let's lock it in. All right, gentlemen, 10 seconds or less, just 1 or 2, maybe 3 nuggets is all that I need. Mikey P, if you don't mind, start us off.
I will do just that, Coach, with 3 nuggets: Luka, LeBron, and the Pelicans. So give me the Lakers minus 5.5 to cover against New Orleans tonight. And then in college hoops, DePaul playing at home at the Wintrust Arena against Georgetown. Give me them to cover as well, minus 1.5.
Young Peyton, talk to me.
Duke should never be an underdog this year unless one of 2 things. Cam Boozer gets hurt, or if they're at Arizona. That's it. Those are the only 2 ways. But they're underdogs tonight against Louisville, so it's Duke on the money line. And the Georgia Bulldogs are getting 8.5 against Florida. Give me Georgia to cover.
By the way, Big Cheesy, I see you. I see your little jabs, your little shade over there. Doesn't scare me at all. I love these 3 plays today. If you're going to cash with the coach, we're going to make it 5 straight. Magic Wizards over 234. The Magic have turned into an over team right before our very eyes. I love them tonight. Their last 2 games, 262, 235 against the Bulls and the Pacers. Wizards are the same type of team. Their last game, 256. Spurs Grizzlies over 239, 230.5, whatever your book has. I love it. I think they both score a lot tonight. And then the Cavs and the Pacers. Pacers have 6 games that they have won. They're always playing from behind, which means that they're going to be sped up. And the Cavs, they can score so easily. I love that over 236.5. All right, my man Raphael still sending in a little inside info. And tonight, the Memphis Grizzlies have lost each of their last 16 home games against teams that have a winning record. Take that into account. The Spurs, very much so, at 25-10, have a winning record. All right, we have 2 things left to do. The Wheel of Doom, and Peyton must pay his penance for the 2 losses. So, producer man, And Peyton, I'm going to allow you to say spin the wheel for winner number 1. Floor is yours.
All right, producer man, let's spin the wheel for winner number 1.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Please don't let it be Big Cheesy. Please don't let it be Big Cheesy. All right, now we've got to do it a second time. If it lands on JC1, you can't win twice. So hopefully it does it. Peyton, one more time.
All right, producer man, let's spin the wheel for contestant number 2.
All right, please, once again, don't let it be Big Cheesy. Once again, don't let it be Big Cheesy. Who do we have? Who do we have? Who do we have? God, it's so small I can't even read it. But the email will be thrown up on the. Who can somebody read that for me? Who just won? What's the name there?
Trey Freitas?
Trey Freitas. All right. So producer man is going to throw up the email on the screen right there. You have to email us. If you're not watching live right now, I know JC1 is. If Trey Freitas is not, you can't win unless you email us right there. And then producer man will email you back, get your order, and we will get it out to you. By the way, in the next 2 or 3 weeks, if you want to wait, we are working on a couple of new items at our merch store that we're going to bring in with the changes to the brand. So that could be in the next week or 2. Gentlemen, well done today. Good luck tonight on your picks, because I know we're going to need them to back me up. Producer man, give me that one shot. It's now time for all of you to go out into the world, for you to pay it forward. It's a Tuesday. I get it. The year's just starting, and you're like, it's feeling very daunting. We're going to be here every single step of the way just for you. And understand this. There's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire team, love them all. Mikey P, Young Peyton, producer man behind the scenes, always making the show look like $1 million. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's what we're all about. This show, it's called Coach and Company, and we are live, as always, right here on Stadium. Have a great day.